Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It's Sunday night, and even though it's Easter long weekend, it's satsang with John and Michelle.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to those who have decided to take a break from family and join us in probably the most important part of the week, which is the Sunday night satsang. So thank you for joining our community and being with us on this celebration of Easter and Passover.
Yes, lots of people are celebrating different things.
Yeah, and we're just celebrating life.
Yes, that's what we're celebrating.
That's life, as it is, yeah.
Life.
So welcome. And we like to know where you are watching from. So if you can just put us a note in the comments, tell us where you're from. And if you can just send us, we're getting lots of hearts, so we can't ask for hearts.
Thank you for the hearts.
Yeah. Thank you for the hearts, yeah. See the camera right there. That's lovely to get all the hearts. Thank you. And welcome to everyone.
Welcome.
So let's do what we always do, and that's the really, really important work that isn't work at all. In fact, it's the opposite of work, and I think they have to invent a new name for work. You know, work in the old way is like striving to get somewhere, where in fact in the new world, work is very much to do with acceptance, enjoyment and enthusiasm. And that's really where we are tonight. So let's just center ourselves in the only time and place that's real, which is the present moment, and withdraw our mind from all stories in our head, from all yesterdays, all tomorrows, and just become centered in the most sacred of all places, which is the present moment. So gently, you might like to shut your eyes and settle down into your body, back into the present moment. See that you're comfortable, that you've got cushions, that you've made arrangements not to be disturbed for a little while. Closing your eyes, just bring your awareness out from all other times and all other places. Just gently rest in this moment, here and now. And as you do that, just connect with the stillness in this moment, in the here and now. Listen to the stillness. If there are any sounds that come to your eardrums, that's fine, but listen to the stillness underneath those sounds. There is always stillness. The sounds arise from that stillness and they recede into that stillness. So let's spend a few moments just focusing on that stillness, that quietness that underlies all physical occurrences. And while we do that, let's take a deep breath in. And then a beautiful long breath out, listening to the stillness. Take a very long breath in, long, deep breath, and then a long breath out. All the while we're listening. Take another deep breath in, right down to your feet this time, so you're drawing the air right the way down and up to the top of your head. And that beautiful, releasing, surrendering breath out. And once again, just focus on everything that you can hear, but being aware of the stillness underneath any sounds. And bring your awareness into your body. And feel the stillness in your body. Allow life to breathe you. The same intelligence that beats your heart, digests your food, and enables you to listen, occupies your body in this moment. So just allow this intelligence called life to take over all the processes, all the metabolic processes which need to take place right now. And you just rest your awareness in the body without having to do anything at all. And as you rest your awareness inside the body, Just see if you can become aware of the stillness in your body. See if you can find the stillness in your hands. See if you can find the stillness in your feet and in your legs. Become aware of the stillness in your torso and your shoulders. And with every out-breath, just sink deeper into your body and back into the present moment. Become aware of the stillness in your cheeks and in your forehead and in the scalp of your head. Relax your jaw. Become aware of the stillness in your neck and in your arms. This stillness is a sacred place. In the Bible it says, "Be still and know that I am." It's in the stillness that we find the I am, without name, without gender, without time, without any form. And this I am is presence. And it is your true essence, your true being. So just sink your awareness into this being, into the space, the sacred space between your thoughts. And just rest your awareness in this space. Not needing to do or understand or achieve or acquire. There's no need for more. There's just a resting in the eternal depth of life in this moment. And as we connect in this space, this place of stillness, so we connect directly with everyone else on this satsang with us tonight. For this space is a space of love, it's a space of connection, it's a space of community, it's a space of oneness. And we feel this connection. We feel this connection not only with those on this call tonight, but with all of mankind. And we realize that this space underlies all form, be they animal, mineral, vegetable. This space is the unifying field that Albert Einstein spoke about. And we give that a name and we call it love. And love is appreciation. And love is beauty. And love is allowing. And love is acceptance. And so we embrace this moment fully, with a feeling of gratitude and appreciation and the sacredness of this moment. And now we take another deep breath into our bodies, drawing it right down to our toes. And then a beautiful long breath out. Beautiful long releasing breath out. Second, deep breath in, filling your whole body up like a big ball, pushing your tummy out, and then that beautiful long releasing, relaxing, surrendering breath out. Third, deep breath in, pushing your tummy out like a big ball, up to the top of your head, and a beautiful long releasing, surrendering breath out. Just surrendering to life. Feel the arms of life embracing you in this moment. Feel the love, the connection of this moment. And know that you are so precious to the unfoldment of the universe. Just as you are in this moment. And when you're ready, you may gently open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, just become aware of how you feel in this moment. Let's see if there's anything shifted or changed in the last few minutes. And just note that we didn't change anything on the outside, but we changed everything on the inside. We changed our state. We changed how we feel. And in truth, that's the power we have within us. Because as we change how we feel on the inside, paradoxically, we also do influence the field around us. And we become a positive input for all of humanity, for the whole earth. So thank you for being with us tonight on this special Easter Sunday. And it's such a joy to be with you.
Thank you, John. That was beautiful. So peaceful, hey? So lovely to return to that place. Welcome, everyone. We don't have a lot astrologically to really talk about. It's not a full moon or new moon, but I mean, there's a lot going on, since there always is.
We've had too much in the last year.
Yeah. But one of the main themes of this month, sort of until around about the 21st, is the theme of rebirth, which is the beginning. It's a new energy. It's a new energetic feeling of something new arising. But we're actually heading towards a new moon, which is going to be next Monday, not this Monday, but the next Monday. So this is actually a time to release and let go of whatever we don't need to prepare for that new rebirth. So we thought we'd talk about rebirth tonight. And also what's actually happening right now is the sun and the moon are kind of square each other. And the moon's in Capricorn, which kind of wants to know where we're going, what are the answers, when are we going to get up the mountain, how are we going to climb the mountain. And there can be a sort of a bit of an impatience there. And some stuff can come up from the past, resentments, old hurts, old feelings of inadequacies, those stories that we tell ourselves about not being good enough or about being separate, that's what a square is. It's two energies separate to each other. So just to be aware of that if it comes up, just don't believe everything your mind tells you, because it doesn't always tell you the truth.
Yeah, I'd say believe very little of what your mind tells you.
Yeah, so
believe your heart.
Just sort of see what comes up, and we're going to talk about that tonight, but what comes up for you over the next week in terms of what really is holding you back in terms of those belief systems that you have about yourself, about other people, about the planet, about what's going on right now on our planet. Whatever those belief systems are, which are holding you back, are actually holding you back from rebirthing into a new you, I suppose, because we get a chance to rebirth all the time. And as John mentioned in his little talk there, we always have a choice of how we can respond. And our state, we have the ability to change our state. So you can be in a grumpy mood, and then you can change your state. We have that ability. So just to know that we have the ability to clear what is no longer serving us, and to actually step into something that's more empowering, which is what you need for a rebirth. You need all your energy. You can't be having 5%, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat, 5% and 95% telling you that you can't do it, because it's not going to happen. Excuse me, I have to cough.
Yeah, so we're celebrating Easter, and Easter is part of duality. So in the Christian tradition we have the death, and then we have the resurrection. and a fair amount of focus is on the death side. And I mean, that's fine. We need to accept and embrace the dying part, because in order for the new to be born, something has to die, something has to leave. But tonight we thought we'd focus more on the rebirth. Look at the new that's arising, and that's really part of the Easter festivities. And Easter has been borrowed from the pagan traditions, where it was around the equinox, and it was a spring equinox, and it had to do with fertility, and so eggs were given at that time as a sort of symbol of fertility, and that has been adopted by the current culture that we live in. So it is a time of looking at something new being born, but it's not being born of the old. It's being born as a completely new awareness, a completely new entity. So Michelle mentioned a time of clearing, and particularly now, always leading up to a new moon is a time of clearing. So one of the things to look at is what in your own lives needs to be cleared so that something brand new can be born. Well, often what we want to do is we want to transform the old into the new. And so the message tonight is no, you can't transform the old into the new. One has to actually let go completely of the old. And one of the things that I believe we hang on to way past their sell-by date are our beliefs. And I think a lot of beliefs have been shattered this last year, and a lot of beliefs have been opened up, new ones have been acquired. But I think it's good to look at our beliefs and say which beliefs no longer serve me, and which beliefs are better beliefs to adopt now. And one of the ways of looking at beliefs are as maps of reality. And so if you choose a map, it's not whether it's a good map or bad map. It's the only way to assess it. Does it take me where I want to go? So in looking at this rebirth, it's what do we want to be reborn? What do we want this new world to look like? And once we've identified that within us, and it is a feeling, then we can look at our beliefs in terms of that feeling that we would like to experience, and say, does this map that I have, does this belief that I'm just not worthy of love, does that belief serve me and take me where I want to go? And you probably find that no, that map doesn't serve you. And so it's to look at all the beliefs that we have in terms of the new that you would like to be birthed in your own awareness as a feeling. It's generally a feeling that's been born. And from that feeling will come external circumstance to match that feeling. So it's a time of dying, and it's a dying to the old beliefs, the old ways, the old attachments, the old resentments. There's a good one to let go of, old resentments, guilt patterns, etc. And then to look to what it is you would like to be birthed within your awareness and also within the world.
Yeah, and as John said, it's how you want to feel, because we can't always control, we sometimes can't control the outside, but we can actually, not control, I don't like the word control, but we can actually decide how we want to feel inside. So we can, at any moment, we can change, as we said, change the state, because that's going to actually change the outcome. It has to, because the universe doesn't speak in words. It speaks in it responds to our feelings, our energy that we're putting out. So what are we rippling out into the world? So if we feel that we are separate, first of all, I think that's one of the biggest beliefs that we have, that we're separate from everything everything else, that I'm a separate person, you're a separate person, and I don't like you and I do like you, and you're right and you're wrong. That's the first fundamental belief that we've got to look at, because the way I see this year, with this being a sort of a carry on from last year, this is a year where we actually are realizing where our true power lies. And I think that if we do want to step into a new way of being for ourselves and for the planet, which is happening, it's to actually look at where we feel separate. Because if we really know who we are, and we really know that we're all connected to everything, that completely shifts the way we engage with the world. As opposed to, I'm separate, it's just little old me, struggling along, trying to make ends meet, trying to deal with everything that's going on around me. Or no, I'm connected to all that is. I have the whole universe inside me, as do you, and we can actually dance together. It's a whole different way of looking at it, isn't it?
Yeah. So what is being birthed at the moment is a new awareness. So when we talk about the word state, we don't necessarily mean the country we live in. We're not talking about that state. We're talking about the state of awareness, the state of consciousness.
Yeah.
And what is being birthed is really the power to choose your state of consciousness, your state of experience, your state of awareness. And that's really what we're being given now as a human species, is the recognition. We've actually always had this, but it's the recognition that we do have the power to change our state of awareness, and the absolute importance in choosing very wisely what state of awareness do we want to hold on to. Do we want a state of awareness that's based in fear, that's based in separation? Do we want to hold on a vibration within us, within our mind and our bodies, a state of maybe guilt or resentment? Which is separation, yeah. Or do we want feelings? Do we want to create a state of awareness that's more in alignment with what we would call love? And love is a state of connection, and it's a state of appreciation, it's a state of community, it's a state of caring, it's a state of empathy. And if that's a state which we would like birthed, then there may be certain maps that we have to let go of in order for that awareness to be birthed in our own consciousness. So this time is to look at what needs to go, and look at where we want to go and what we would like to experience in the coming months, years.
Yeah, and I think the first step to anything is just being aware. So
That's
once
awareness.
we are aware of, which is a lot of what John and I do together and separately in our work, is to just become more and more aware of those beliefs, of those thoughts that go round and round and round that we're not even aware of most of the time, until maybe we speak about them or we journal them, or they come flying out of our mouth in an argument or whatever. That's when we realize that, that's a belief that I actually have about the planet, about myself, about my partners, friends, colleagues. So it's just to actually really be, I would say in the next week, to really be cognizant of what those belief systems are, what those thoughts are that we tell ourselves. Are we seeing the world as imperfect? Are we seeing ourselves as imperfect? Because then what is that actually putting out? So if we're seeing everything as a big mistake, then how does that affect our energy? If we see everything as a miracle, how does that affect our energy? And it's sometimes difficult to see things as a miracle if they're not fitting with our ego desire of what they should look like. This shouldn't be happening, it should look like that, because it does make me happy. But maybe it needs to be happening. And it does, because otherwise it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be happening if it didn't need to be happening, wasn't meant to be happening. So it's just to really become more and more aware of those stories that we tell. We don't even realize that we're saying it, which is why it's really lovely when you have friends that are on a similar page to you, or partners, and they can point it out. They can say, there's that story again. Because sometimes we don't know that we're telling ourselves that story. And then we're not quite sure why we're not manifesting what we feel that we actually should be manifesting. But we're not vibrating on that level. We're not rippling that out into the universe. We're rippling out instead, I'm fearful, I'm scared, I'm separate, I'm not good enough, and we're getting smaller and smaller, and then that's going out. And then we want to manifest this big dream, and we're unsure of why we're not manifesting the big dream or the big abundance. We don't feel abundant. If you don't feel abundant, you're not going to be abundant. So that's the rebirth. A rebirth is, as John said, it's It's from the ground up. It's actually taking every single belief system we've ever had. And I actually think that this is the year to do this. I really, really believe that. Take every single one that you've ever had, the things people have told you, the things parents have told you, your teachers have told you, what you've read in the newspaper, what you've listened to on the radio, what you're listening to now, and question it all. And question what your own mind is saying, because that is determining our future.
And the good news, there is good news. And the good news is that although we're going through this process of letting go of death and rebirth, there is a guiding hand in all of this, because so often we feel alone in this process. And we're not alone. In the same way that, when spring arises, and those of you in the northern hemisphere are in this process, when spring comes, it supports birth. It supports rebirth. It supports the flowering and the coming into abundance in nature. And the plant doesn't have to do it. It actually just dances with that theme. And so on a cosmic scale, I believe we are going through this rebirth in a cosmic way. And that right now, each one of us is, we have available to us this tremendous power of the universe to help us with this rebirth process. It's not a path we have to do alone, because in fact we're not alone. We are intimately connected with the cosmos, with the perfection of the cosmos. And so we started this evening by going into and appreciating and becoming aware of the stillness. And that's how we align with this new birthing process. Go into that stillness. During your day, pause, stop and quieten down, pause, and just say that little prayer, which is very potent. It's not my will, but thy will be done. Thy will is the cosmic law, the cosmic intention, which is at the moment is this shifting, this awakening, which is happening cosmically at the moment. And so I don't think that we have to feel, it's all up to me and I need to go and read some more books on it. What I believe is that we need to let go. We need to surrender. That process in the opening meditation as well, of just breathing out. That breathing out is a letting go. And if, as we go through our day-to-day normal chores that we're doing, if we focus continually on the out-breath, the letting go, the surrendering, in that we connect to the stillness. It's in the out-breath that we connect to the sacredness of each and every moment that we are experiencing. And it's really important to just do that, to integrate it into your doingnesses, into whatever you're busy with, washing the dishes, making a phone call or emailing or whatever you're doing. Integrate the out-breath, the surrendering, the letting go, the connecting to the divine intelligence, which is the cosmos, or life, or whatever you want to call it. That's the really important work that we need to be doing now, to integrate all the knowledge that we have into our daily experiences. And from that is birthed a new wisdom.
And I think what John's just said is so useful, that is on the out-breath, that each time you just become more aware of the out-breath, of the moment. Pausing is huge. We say this often in our groups, and quite often people say that one of the biggest things they've learned on the whole journey is the importance of just pausing and slowing down. Because when you slow down and you concentrate on the out-breath and you pause, you're able to be more aware of what's going on. It's not just a blur of 60,000 thoughts rushing through your mind on any one day. It's, okay, I see this. And then you can straight away, if it's an old belief, for example, that you're separate or not good enough, let's just take a really blanket belief that I think is like an epidemic, is the belief system that so many of us hold, that we are not good enough, that we should be better in some way. So if you just notice yourself feeling that, thinking that, it's to immediately just see it. And then you can say an affirmation that's the opposite of that. So I am enough would be a good a good way of actually like an antidote to that belief system. And it pulls you back with the breath and John's map of going down into that vertical plane or up into the vertical plane, back to center. It's that breath that takes you there, the pause that takes you there. The ability to be aware enough that, yes, I've gone down into that old story again. And yes, I have the ability and the choice to bring myself back and to actually plant new seeds. That's what we're doing here. We're actually planting new seeds for a new vision, but that new, the soil of those seeds has got to be fertile. It's got to be clear of weeds so we can actually see what's happening and plant the seed in the right place. Giving it enough nurturing and nourishing so that that seed actually grows. So we can't plant a seed and then carry on doing what we've always done because the seed's going to die. So this is a time where we actually are clearing fields so that we can actually plant a new seed for this very, very important year. Astrological year, obviously.
Yeah, and the fertilizer, the nourishment which those seeds need is presence. Yeah. Presence is a very, very real energy and a real power. And one thing that distracts us from presence, and it always has distracted us, and it's something which I believe needs to die in a certain way, in the way that we have used it in the past. It doesn't need to necessarily die in itself, but the way we have used it or misused it is this wonderful little vehicle which we have called the ego. And in the past, we have identified who we are with this thing called ego. And the ego is really, an idea about ourselves that we are our achievements. And if we achieve a lot, then we feel very good. And if we don't achieve very much, that gives us a negative ego. And both are egos, whether we are achieving or not achieving. I'm a loser. Well, that's an ego as well. And I am what I have acquired. And that's the other one. Everything that I have in my possessions is part of my ego. Or what Michelle said is, I am, everything's been done to me. I am my past. I'm a victim of the past. That's another egoic identity that we have. And I am what other people think of me. That's a big one. We try and fit into society, and it's hard to walk in the direction that you think you want to go in when everyone else is walking in the opposite direction. But I believe it takes courage to step out of the egoic mind. There's something called zeitgeist, and zeitgeist is the spirit of the times. And there are certain flows of energy at the moment which are being very directed by fear, and that there are an awful lot of people who are doing certain things on a day-to-day basis, guided by that zeitgeist of fear, scared of being different. And I would suggest that is all ego. That is all ego. And if we do want a new earth to be birthed in our awareness and in the world around us, then letting go of the attachment we have for a sense of self to the ego is something that does need to die as well. The ego is a fantastic vehicle. The problem is that we have become attached to a sense of identity to that vehicle, and that is dysfunctional, and it makes us do things that we wouldn't do normally because we're trying to protect the ego. So I think at the moment to be open to the death of certain aspects of our ego, to die to the sense of identity and attachment to the ego, trusting and knowing that you are not that. You're something way more magnificent than the ego, way more magnificent. And trusting that life does have a plan. And it does have a plan for you as an individual as much as it has a plan for us as a species. When we trust, we can step out of that fear and more into love. Love is never manipulative. It is always a guiding influence, while fear is always manipulative. Fear is a sense of division, separation, shoulds and coulds that comes out of fear, where love is the opposite. And, as I always say, we do have this choice, this fundamental choice at the moment, to choose between fear, which is false evidence appearing real, and this sense of connection trust in the universe, which is love.
Mm.
And that's really what is this rebirth about. And the Christian tradition, it's the rebirth of the Christ. And we might put it into a single man who lived 2,000 years ago, and I rather see it, no, it's the birth of the Christ Spirit within each one of us. Within each one of us. And what is the Christ Spirit but the highest essence of love? It's that God essence of love within each one of us. And love makes nothing special, and love has no divisions. So part of this birthing process is the dropping of all the barriers of separation that we have built up in our awareness. The separation by gender, the separation by race, the separation by achievement or by nationality. Let that go. Drop all of that and allow this new Christ consciousness to be born within us, and that is love.
Yeah, and just on that is that we have an ego. It's not to hate the ego, because the ego is, as John said, a really very good tool, a very good vehicle, without which we wouldn't be able to actually function on the planet. So it's not to actually say that it's a terrible thing. It's to see where we define ourselves as that, as opposed to just it's a vehicle. So we're actually going to go into this in our inner space group this month, into much more detail. But we've got to be careful about not seeing it as something that we hate and despise, because it's an element of us. So you can't hate it. You've got to just know that it's there, but it's not. It doesn't define you. So if you feel that you're a victim, and you feel that you are a victim, and that's what defines you, there's an issue, because that's what's going to define every single moment of your life. Or if you define yourself with the construct of I'm not good enough, I'm never good enough, that's going to actually really affect, as well as I'm the best thing in the world and I'm a megalomaniac. So it goes both ways. If you define yourself as that, if you just see it and say, yeah, that's actually a tendency of my personality, my person self, but it's not who I am. Because who I am is this spark of the divine that's connected to everything and is not separate and is absolutely enough at my core. So that's what we're talking about, going back to who we are at our very core.
Yeah, so the ego is neither good nor bad. It's just the identification with the ego that is dysfunctional. That is the difference.
Yeah.
Ego is a vehicle for us to have the human experience. Without the ego, we couldn't have the human experience. And the human experience is such rich in emotions and contrast.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's like the body. The body is also not something to be got rid of. It's something to be celebrated. The body is very much part of the human experience. We couldn't have the human experience without the body. And so it is with the ego, the personality. It's all part of the human experience. It's when we become absolutely attached and fixated with our personality, or fixated with our body, or fixated with the ego. That's where it becomes dysfunctional. It's not the actual thing itself that's a problem.
No.
It's our mental construct we have of a sense of self being that. So I am what I do, I am what I have, and I am what other people think of me. There's the dysfunction, not the fact that you have that vehicle.
And that I can never change.
Yeah.
Because this is what I've always been, and this is what everybody's always told me about myself, and this is what I've always told myself, and so therefore I can only be this. That's the lie.
Yeah.
Because everything can change, particularly at the level of awareness.
Yeah. And the other one is to say, if I only had a better car, then I'd feel better about myself. If I only had a better ego, then I'd feel better about myself. If only I had a better body, then I'd feel better about myself. If only I had a better personality, then I'd feel better about myself. No, you are already beautiful, wonderful. You're just the driver of those. You're what's the perfect essence of being inside all of that. And so this rebirth is really a rebirth in awareness. It's the recognition of what is magnificent here and now. What is perfect, what is sacred here and now. It's a recognition of that. This is not about improving your personality or getting a better, a car. It's not about that. It's about recognizing that you're not that. You have it and you can use it and you can look after it, and that's fine. but it doesn't define who you are. And it's not going to give you what it is that your heart really, really, really yearns for, which is really a feeling, isn't it? It's a feeling of connection. It's a feeling of maybe freedom. It could be a feeling of peace, a feeling of bliss. These are all reconnections with your true essence rather than achievements. And there's the difference.
Yeah.
And so what is being born at the moment is just a new way of seeing, a new way of perceiving yourself and the world around you. So this is a rebirth of perception.
Yeah.
And paradoxically, I'm going to say it again, I said it earlier, as we change our perception, we change physical reality. Yes. Michelle mentioned earlier about how powerful we are. We are so powerful in that our perceptions create the physical universe. And our perceptions are very much linked to our thoughts and our emotions. And as we start to choose new thoughts, new feelings, new emotions, we create a new world from that. And the ones that are destructive are the ones that we could put in the basket marked fear. The ones that are constructive are fit into the basket marked love. And it's really for us to have the awareness now and to choose moment to moment to moment, which basket am I drawing my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions from? The basket of separation and protection, or the basket of openness and love, connection?
Yeah.
And that is the choice that we all need to be making right now. And that's the rebirth of that Christ spirit within us. And that's the consciousness of connection, of love, and of our divine essence.
Yeah, and how does it feel when we have those thoughts, those separating thoughts? Because as soon as you have the thought, if you're cognizant of it, you can feel it. You can feel straight away that it's a thought that makes me feel smaller, that makes me feel separate, that makes me feel less than or better than you. So you can feel you can feel what it feels like when you have a thought of separation or fear, and what it feels like when you have a thought of love, where everything is perfect. This is perfect. You are part of me. I am part of you. That's love. You are separate. You shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be happening. That's separation. And you can feel it. So if you want more of the expansive feeling, which is a feeling of love, then it's to actually rebirth that, as opposed to rebirthing the same stories that we've been rebirthing time after time. And fortunately, we get a chance every month and every year. We've got cycles, and everything's cyclic. So we have death cycles and rebirth cycles, and death cycles and rebirth cycles. And the one true thing is that this will change. This too will change. It has to. It can't not change. It would be against the laws of nature for it not to change. So everything in your life right now is shifting as we speak. And everything in the universe is shifting as we speak. It will never stay the same. So it's just to know that if you're in a trough, if you're in a valley, that there will be another mountain. And then when you're on the top of the mountain, there'll be another valley. Because that's the nature of the universe. That's the nature of cycles. So it's to just be accepting of, yes, I'm here right now. That's okay. Okay, I accept that. That's part of love. It's saying, isn't it? It's saying, this is perfect. The way I am right now is perfect. Therefore, I love this. I love me. I love this. I love everything. Even though it doesn't look perfect on the outside necessarily.
Yeah, changing perception. And, part of this is looking at cycles, is to realize that we're not just repeating into cycles. It's all a spiral. It's a spiral. So although we seem sometimes to be moving forward and sometimes to be moving backwards, we're always spiraling up. Always. Consciousness is always upgrading itself, evolving into higher and higher levels of awareness. And that's the beautiful part of what we're going through at the moment. And if what we're sharing tonight resonates with you, then we really would like to invite you to the two offerings that we have. One is a monthly ongoing platform, which Michelle mentioned in the moment, and that's a few months ago, and that's Inner Space. And that's creating this quiet space within us and making that more obvious in our awareness. And this month, every month is themed in the space. You just join for a month if you like. You can sign up for a year if you like in a space. It's only 350 Rand a month, so it's quite affordable. And this month is taming the ego. Taming the ego. So what we do is we provide you with 2 Zoom calls during the month. The first one is on Tuesday evening for April. That's the first one. But then you also get an online web page, and on that you have some journaling work to do, some exercise, a creative exercise, meditations, affirmation. They're all on that page for you. And that's this month themed around to tame the ego. And that's just a monthly, it's not a course, it's just a monthly supportive platform. And part of that is to be a member of the community. And we've got a growing community there, and the support on the WhatsApp group is really amazing. It's really lovely.
Yeah,
so
and
that's
it aligns with the energies of the time. So it aligns with lightly with the astrological themes of
every month.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the Journey to Freedom course. And if it is freedom that you really, really, really want, then we invite you to join there. Now, at the moment, we have Journey to Freedom number 7. It's the 7th one we're running. And at the moment, we're on week 1. So you're still welcome to join. The next meeting, we've just pushed it out because of Easter. So there's another whole week to go. If you want to join that one, then you can do week 1 within the next week. So you're welcome to join. Both of those offerings are available on our website, which is journeysofAwakening.com. journeysofAwakening.com. We'll put it in the box below once we finish tonight, and you can go there and look at the information. And if you're a bit confused or you want more information, you're welcome to contact us, and we will help you in whatever way we can. So those are the 2 offerings. The Journey to Freedom is an online course, and that's week 1 right up to week 12, and we look at 12 different modules in life, and we examine them, and we help you release what needs to be released in those particular areas, and help you find what true freedom really is. So that's a worthwhile course to go on. And then the monthly platform, just an ongoing supportive platform, is the Inner Space one. So we do invite you to join us there.
I would love to have you.
Yeah.
We've got quite a few of you on this call, so it's lovely to, it's like a little family.
It is a family. It's a growing family of like-minded, of connected people.
And we need that right now on the planet.
Yeah.
We need like-minded together.
Where 2 or more gathered, there I am. So the more that we gather, the more power. The power of the whole is infinitely greater than the power of the individual.
Yeah.
And the more we do join with like-minded people, the more power we have exponentially. And there are so many people who are feeling disconnected from friends and family at the moment. And that's because we're not all, pointed in the same direction. We're not all on the same level on the same page, and it's nice to have support from like-minded people, which both the course and the online platform provide for you. So please take a look at it, journeysofawakening.com. Have a look there.
Okay,
so we're going to ask Michelle to do a nice Easter centering visualization for us, and then we're going to draw an affirmation card for the coming week. So stick around for that. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's settle in. Just take a beautiful, deep, slow breath in and a releasing breath out. And another really beautiful, deep, long, slow breath in. Let your eyes just float to a close. And on the out breath, gently just release whatever you need to release in this moment. And let's do another 3rd beautiful, deep, long, slow breath in. All the way in. And then on the out breath, just sigh it all out. Just let it all go. Let it all melt off you. Now just connecting with our breath. Connecting with this beautiful life force that flows through us without much effort. It's just there all the time, animating our bodies, breathing us in and out, feeding our cells, just connecting with this life force energy, feeling the connection that we have with all that is, with the knowingness that we are connected to all that is. Just like a drop in the ocean holds the ocean, just like an acorn holds the whole beautiful oak tree. Inside us each, all of us, we have all that is living inside us. We are mirrors of the cosmos. What is happening outside of us is happening within us. We are not separate. We are connected at a very, very deep level. As we come into presence and we still ourselves, we're reminded of this. As you bring yourself even into a quiet place, just let this settle into you. Allow yourself to just release, relax, soften your body, open. Just to this moment. Connecting with your breath, just noticing it coming in and going out. Not trying to control it, just allowing it to be as it is. Feeling your connection with this life force. How even our skin, which we sometimes see as separating us, is absorbing at any time heat or moisture, cold or energy. And that heat and moisture, cold and energy is being rippled out from us as well. It's a never-ending dance of energy. And knowing that as we connect with that knowingness, that we are not separate, that's the ground. That's the groundwork for a new rebirth. What if you truly knew at the core of you that you were not separate? How would your life change? How would you be if you had no fear? If you knew that everything right now is perfect? That there's nothing more you have to achieve, or nothing more you need to change, nothing you have to fix? What if you knew that right now, as you are perfect? Just feel that inside you. Where do you feel it? Notice any thoughts that come in that might tell you otherwise. And with gentle awareness, just notice that thought. Surround it with the light of your own love. Let your own light penetrate right into that thought. And then on the next out breath, completely and utterly breathe it out. Let it go. And bring in another thought, a conscious thought. That would be the opposite. Let's try that again. Is there any thought that comes to you that maybe is something that you wrestle with? Allow that to just surface, to come up to the surface, to come up into the light of your awareness. And when it comes up to the surface, shine the light of awareness from your heart into that thought. Imagine it dissolving into little tiny bits of energy, scattering. Now breathe in, and on the out breath release it. Bring yourself back. And now allow a new thought, a new intention to surface. As if it were a seed that you could plant in the ground of your soul. A new thought, a new belief, a new pattern, a new way of being. Imagine planting that right in the middle of your heart. And then nurturing and nourishing it with your love. And setting the intention this week to continue to do this, to release that which you don't need, which doesn't serve you, in each moment as it comes up, and to replace it with seeds that do. Connect with your heart. Breathe into your heart as if you could expand the heart, like as if it was a lung. Breathe into it. Allow it to open and expand. Soften your body. Be fully present for yourself, fully accepting of yourself. Fully allowing the light of your being to radiate through you, into you, through you, and out of you. Now take a couple of really beautiful breaths in and out, gently. And when you're ready, very gently open your eyes.
Oh, that was beautiful. Wasn't that nice? Didn't we plant some good seeds there?
Good.
I think so. I think we're going to experience a whole new world being birthed from those seeds tonight. It's really, really wonderful.
Good.
Thank you for being with us tonight. Let's just see if we have an affirmation which will further plant some seeds in our awareness. We have all these affirmation cards here, all different colors. And Michelle's going to choose one. So let's just see what we choose. And this is an affirmation as a way of rewiring our subconscious mind. Repeating an affirmation 200-300 times, 500 times a day definitely does rewire our mind and lets us see the world differently. It changes our perception. Very, very powerful. What do we get tonight?
I find the stillness even in this moment. That's a good one to repeat.
Yeah, I find the stillness even in this moment. And that takes us to the beginning meditation this evening, where we looked at finding the stillness. So it's a green card, and green is the heart chakra. Mm-hmm. So it connects us with the heart. So as we move through our day, just drop our awareness into the heart. I find stillness even in this moment.
Good one.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you, and we look forward to having you join either our Inner Space or Journey to Freedom course. Otherwise, we'll see you next Sunday. Have a beautiful day tomorrow. Easter. What do we have on Easter Monday? Do we have chocolate or what?
Yeah.
Chocolate. Okay. Well, enjoy that. And we'll meet up with you next week. Okay. Lots of love. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Everybody.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.